If you've been paying attention, you'll notice the world feels like it's spiraling into chaos lately. Strange and unexplainable things keep happening, some of which defy all logic. Today, we're exploring when some of these unsettling moments were caught on camera. A couple months back, a very strange scene was recorded in China. Locals saw this gigantic swirl of cloud with a bunch of bright red light shining in the middle. The dark cloud just stayed there looking all ominous. People had all kinds of theories about what it could be. While some said it could be an alien spaceship hiding in the dark cloud, others were sure this phenomenon was a carefully crafted hoax. But I'd like to know what you think of this. Path to heaven. You might be thinking, why are all these people gathered here like this? Well, do you see that apparent path cleared up in the sky, with clouds on both sides pushed to the sides to make a ramp up there? Caught the attention of many. The clip went absolutely viral online, and netizens speculated that might be a divine moment, where a path into the heavens was visible. However, the truth came out to be something entirely different. Turns out, that clear patch in the clouds was made by an airplane that had flown a few seconds before. Dark matter. Have you heard about the recent theory going around online that our world is nothing more than a simulation? And people have been coming up with proof as well. Like this clip, a strange dark spot was seen floating away in the sky. Captured on video, the phenomenon was claimed to be proof of our reality being distorted. Skeptics were unsure, saying there has to be a more logical explanation. But no one has been able to come up with one. If you have any idea what it might be, let me know in the comments. UFO or cloud? Next on the list is the clip that will make you wonder what really is out there. A guy was recording the cloudy sky when he noticed a giant one that looked eerily similar to a spaceship. As the guy kept recording, you'll notice how the surrounding clouds disappeared, except for the UFO-shaped one. Could this mean that this cloud did not belong to our world in the first place? An alien intervention or something else? What do you think? And that's not the only one. Have a look at this one. However, there have been a lot of theories of these shapes being lenticular clouds, but I've never seen a cloud look this solid. While some people have dismissed them as mere clouds, others think these could be otherworldly beings using clouds as a disguise to carry on their mission on Earth. Stranger danger. A few weeks ago, residents in Jerusalem awoke to a troublesome sight. It would escape your eyes usually, but not after the year we've had. There, on top of the building, is a cloud, but one that's spread in a big ring. Now any other day, you'd accept that this is just a cloud. But we've got another theory that would prove otherwise. That's right. Some folks think this could be a portal to a different dimension, masterfully disguising itself as a cloud so common folk like us wouldn't freak out. But we're onto them. Whatever's crawling out of that wormhole better be prepared. Queen's Watch. In September 2021, residents in Queens, New York, witnessed an intimidating spectacle. As most of the city kept to itself, the sky cracked with a bright beam. It wasn't lightning. It wasn't visual effects. Whatever it was very much real and seemed to have emerged from the sky itself. As some joked about Zeus's anger on mankind, most wondered what on earth was going on, especially since this happened in a major city and should have been reported on the news. But the absence of any information is exactly why people are suspicious. Why are the authorities so mum? That can't be good. Oblivionated. The multiverse theory suggests the existence of other universes beyond our own. While science hasn't proven it yet, certain strange occurrences are making people wonder if it might be true. Take, for example, the skies over Bulgaria, where a dark, circular, portal-like shape appeared. Its ominous color ruled out any natural explanations, like sunlight breaking through clouds. For many, it seemed less like a weather anomaly and more like a possible gateway to another world. Could it be a doorway to other forms of life, or is it something entirely different? Well, we'll have to stick around to find out. Scepter Eichel find. While this is something that could be scientifically explained, there's a lot going around in the world that we can't be sure of. Firstly, whatever this glowing thing is, it's out in clear day, so we can rule out the theory that it's just a crazy angle of the sun. Secondly, because it's out in clear day, we know it's bold enough to not care what happens to us. But what is it? Some say it's a secret portal, perhaps for aliens who wouldn't mind taking off into secrecy. And if there's any truth in there, we'd all better prepare for Armageddon. Bright spotlight. Back in May 2023, a tourist visiting Santiago, Chile, was recording the city from his window when he witnessed this. Suddenly, a huge burst of light came down from the sky, and the place was lit with a bright yellow glow. Where did that light come from? So precise, like that place was its exact target. As the clip was posted online, people started speculating, where some thought there might be extraterrestrial origin behind this. Others were confused, thinking it could be a prank to gain views on the internet. Sky spout.
Never!
A group of tourists visiting the Corotaman River in eastern Virginia captured a very strange video. The footage showed a huge wave seemingly ascending from the river toward the sky. The massive swirl of water was something no one has seen before, as the clip gained a lot of attention online.
That is bizarre!
Online theorists suggested it was an intelligent entity trying to make its presence known from under the water. Later, someone explained the truth that it was actually a waterspout swirling from the water up into the dark clouds above. Starlight. Have you ever seen something and had no idea what you were seeing? Well, something like this happened to this guy while recording a video. He found a strange star-shaped sparkle floating way mid-air. The guy, having no idea what he was seeing, posted the clip online and let the internet decide. People had different opinions. Some said it might be an object reflecting light. Others were skeptical, saying the clip could be a word of AI. Luckiest catch. While most fishermen catch, well, fish, one had a big break, but I can't say if he was too thrilled about it. It happened just as he was getting ready to head out. The craft emerged so quickly. It's kind of impressive. The fisherman captured this at all. The UFO hovered over for a split second, almost as if it had changed its mind about leaving, but then eventually did take off and fly away. Since then, many have been wondering, is there a secret underwater alien base? And if our ocean's hosting one craft, who's to say it isn't hosting more? Orange trouble. Waking up to a scene like this could make anyone think the world was ending. A thick orange plume rising suddenly, shrouded in smoke, is enough to set everyone on edge. And as expected, it didn't take long for trouble to follow. While the cause remains unclear, one thing's for sure. Whatever created that ominous cloud wasn't safe to breathe in. Even if it was just an industrial mishap, the chemicals behind that vivid orange color are anything but harmless. And if it wasn't, well, that's an even scarier thought. UFO cloud. When the sky over Bursa, Turkey featured this gigantic cloud, people were left scared. With dark red hue giving it an eerie look and cloud-like appearance, locals thought it might be a disguise for aliens keeping watch over us. Others thought it might be some government project messing with the clouds. But there was a better explanation for this. It was a giant lenticular cloud. Formed over mountain peaks, they naturally looked like a massive UFO. Here's another one. Although this one looks a bit different from the previous one. The saucer shape was the same. Recorded in the sky over Toyama, Japan, this lone, oddly bright cloud looked strange in the almost clear sky. Many said it looked like a portal with a seemingly open space surrounded by glowing clouds. But don't worry, this one was also a lenticular cloud. Too close. A guy recorded this clip when he saw something incredible right outside of his window. It looked like the moon itself had come down to his window. And not only that, it also seemed to be spinning. And right beside it was a giant circle that looked like a rainbow. Many people thought it looked like a scene right out of an apocalyptic movie. The moon coming impossibly close to the Earth. Could it be a sign of ending times? No one could tell. Glimmer of hope. In 2023, after the devastating shakes that kept Turkey and Syria rattling for weeks, the dark sky suddenly lit up with a glimmer of hope. It was an extraordinary affair, where there should have been clouds, was a smoke show, and in the midst was an entity we can only describe as angelic. Sure, you could argue that this is just some sort of device, anything that would put off the angelic touch. But the movements alone are enough to convince you this is something else. Something ethereal. Besides, after what those countries experienced, seeing something like this wouldn't be that out of the ordinary. Guardians of Galaxy. We're often comforted with the thought of knowing someone is up there, keeping an eye on all of us. But maybe, just maybe, they're not the divinity we were hoping for. That's right. As a bunch of residents in London craned their necks to spot the moon, they also noticed an eerie figure right beside it, hidden by the clouds. The figure's head was the only clue that there really was something in the sky. The scariest thing is, this wasn't just seen in England, but parts of Japan and Mexico too. So all we've got to worry about now is if it's keeping an eye on us for us, or something else. The mothership. It looks like Hawaii just became ground zero for something straight out of science fiction. A massive mothership was spotted hovering near the ocean, and it's baffling how no one's really talking about it. The creepiest part? It seemed way too close to the water, almost like it could have emerged from the depths. Honestly, the ocean seems like the perfect place for a secret alien hideout, don't you think? Of course, some are quick to call it fake, pointing out the eerie silence around the whole thing. But maybe that quiet is exactly what's raising eyebrows, like something bigger is being hidden. Helping hand. When the sky reaches out to you, you know the world's about to take a turn for the worse. Seriously, who wouldn't freak out at a sight like that? Maybe it's just a unique cloud formation. Maybe it's something more. But since this appeared not only in London, where this video was taken, but reportedly in different parts of the world, it's a sign that we're really missing something that's right before our eyes. What do you think this is? Some sort of entity that wants to help us out? Or one that wants to take us down? Oh, fish! Now and then, the universe gives a sign that things are not okay, but sometimes it doesn't sugarcoat. And, well, you get this. Now, while we could make cloudy with a chance of fish jokes, something about hundreds of fish just straight up falling from the sky is much more sinister than you'd think. After all, where did they come from? The weather was clear, there weren't any rogue waves, and most importantly, there wasn't any sort of plane traveling with them. So where did these fish come from? Some say it's a sign of the end of the time. And honestly, I'm beginning to think that too. Flying fire. Residents of Kenya were in for quite a surprise back in 2023, when the sky above their heads was lit up with this fiery blaze. The bright, moving orb-like thing was clearly seen by many against the dark backdrop. Taking a closer look, I think there was something burning up, leaving behind tiny clouds of fire. People thought it might be a spy craft malfunctioning. Others had ideas about extraterrestrial origin, but with no one to confirm, the clip remained unidentified. Bright crescent. A group of fishermen sailing on the high seas in Mexico were going about their normal day when one of them noticed something strange on the horizon. There seemed to be a bright crescent lit up. Is it just me, or does it look like a cat ears headband? The clip left folks speculating. Some thought it could be a reflection of some object. But with so much conspiracy about an underwater alien base, some people suggested it might be an other-dimensional portal to help their craft's transportation. Numeric message. Here's another clip circulating online that left many thinking if the theories about our world being a simulation are actually true. On a clear day, people saw these numbers strangely appear in the sky. Was it some kind of a code? People thought it could be a barcode, while others suggested it might be a message from another dimension. Could it really be other civilizations trying to reach out to us? Or is it something we've yet to discover? Only time will tell. Strange sun. When this video ended up on the internet, people thought the end times had approached. Apparently, the locals noticed that the sun on the horizon was shining very differently. There seemed to be a figure emerging from the sun. People around the area stopped to watch what was going on. What could be blocking the sun? There have been theories about alien crafts extracting energy from the sun. Could it be them, making it appear like this? Or something else was at play here? Strange orbs.
Pelo que eu percebi, ele só agora que ele já tá se pondo lá atrás das montanhas lá.
Take a look at this clip and let me know. Have you ever seen the sun look like this? A guy was out on a walk when he noticed this. The sun, far, far away in the horizon, looked weird. With an orangish red hue, it seemed to have no glow. You might think it's sunset, but seeing the area was quite lit. It can't be that. Online folks have been theorizing that it might be that the sun is slowly losing its power and on its way to shut down.
Olha isso.
This clip showed an odd-looking tiny orb shining bright in the dark night, moving silently low toward the ground. It looked like the ball of light was being controlled by something or someone. A spy craft, a man-made object, or something out of this world. I'll let you be the judge of that. Shadow from nowhere.
You guys see that shadow?
When a woman came out of her house, she noticed this. The hill in front of her house was sporting a giant shadow. But wait, where's the shadow from? As the camera panned around, it became clear that the sky was as clear as they came. The woman tried figuring out what could be casting the shadow, but came up with nothing.
Are the clouds?
Online folks thought there might be a UFO hiding in the sky above, and the shadow as from that. Could it really be a UFO or something else? The mystery has remained unsolved to this day.
Where are the clouds?
Top UFO. A local out in Tamasopo, Mexico, was out and about when he saw something he couldn't explain. Have a look. Up in the sky, there was a strange object floating away. By the looks of it, its shape seemed oddly similar to a toy top. The guy posted the clip online asking the netizens to identify it. Some thought it could be a drone, while others went ahead thinking it could be a UFO, but seeing the way, it was out in broad daylight. It couldn't be a UFO. I mean, aren't they supposed to be secretive? Whatever it was, it sure looked creepy. Smoke rings. While you're out in Sicily, Italy, you'll see these rings of smoke. A guy recorded this clip and posted it online, and people thought these smoke rings might be from a UFO. But before you think of an otherworldly intervention, let me tell you the truth. These rings were actually emitted by a mountain called Mount Etna, thought to be something not of our world. These rings have long been part of the scenery, just remained unidentified. Burning figure. A drone camera video has been going around online. Apparently, a strange burning figure seemed to walk through a small patch of trees, burning everything in its path. Reaching in the middle, the figure just disappeared. The clip has left netizens confused. Some think it could be a way to take down those trees. Others suspect an entity out of this world trying to cause disruption. Flying octopus. Locals in New York City became witnesses to a very strange sight. There was a huge figure floating away in the sky with long tentacles. Netizens thought it looked like an octopus, and taking a closer look, I do see it. No one had a clue what it was, leaving another mystery waiting to be solved. And that's not all. This octopus-like craft was seen again, this time more clearly, its long tentacles whipping in the air, and it seemed to be moving forward. How could something that looks like this fly? Let me know what you think of this.
It's an alien invasion, y'all.
Lima UFO. In Lima, Peru, a mysterious event unfolded in the skies over Santiago de Surco. A glowing object appeared, hanging in the night and casting a beam of light down to the ground. Onlookers were stunned as the object began to flash before something even stranger happened. It vanished, leaving behind a glowing circle of light. Many described it as eerily similar to a portal from a sci-fi movie. Netizens were conflicted over this one. Some believed it was proof of advanced technology not of this world, while others dismissed it as a clever trick, possibly involving drones or special lighting effects. The unusual display left everyone wondering what they had truly witnessed. Giant ship. As if Mexico isn't already a hotspot for strange sightings. Have a look at this recent clip that came straight from Mexico. The sky over the resident area featured a gigantic craft lit up with orange-red lights. The object just stayed still in the sky, looking like it was keeping an eye on the ground, or was out observing us. Folks came up with an alien UFO theory. Do you think aliens might be out to get us? Portal transit. At first, it might look like a normal day, but if you look closely, you'll see right against the blue sky was a small white cloudy thing. From the distance, it looked like a normal cloud, but right in the middle, a small dark object emerged out of it, and there seemed to be flashes going on in the cloud. Now, online theories have it that it was a portal open in the sky that was being used as a gateway for these UFOs to travel across dimensions. Running lights. The sky over Vietnam suddenly lit up with a bunch of bright lights moving at a high speed. with a huge blue glow bright in the middle of the sky. There were groups of elongated lights moving behind the clouds. As the commotion seemed too secluded, no one was able to tell what it was. Some speculated aliens, others dismissed it as a hoax, saying someone was probably ticking the camera with drones or fancy lights. Double trouble.
Oh my god. Wait, what is happening?
All our lives, we've all worried about the apocalypse. And this is a sign it's happening. As these residents woke up to this sight, they were convinced something was seriously, seriously wrong. It wasn't just the appearance of two suns, but the fact that there's so much going around in the world that just tells you.
Wait, why are there two suns? I'm so confused. Dude.
Something is afoot. Now, I don't know what seeing two suns means. It could be a meteorological phenomena, but it could also be something much more sinister.
Oh my god, what is happening, guys? Do you see this? There's two suns. It's two suns, I promise you.
Golden hour. A couple of months ago, a local in Quexambu, Brazil, caught a glint in the corner of their eye. As he looked ahead, he was pleasantly and rightfully surprised to see a golden figure standing in the rolling hills ahead. Now, at first, the local, like us, thought it might be a trick of the eye. Maybe the figure just appeared golden due to the sunlight hitting them at an odd angle, but that wasn't quite true, since he soon realized this really was an angelic figure standing in the distance. Ever since the video was uploaded, it has caused many to wonder if this is some sort of alien. Well, we'll never know, will we? Maleficent's touch. Sometime around midnight, the dark sky split open and out emerged a singular beam of light. But this wasn't just any beam. When netizens and eyewitnesses saw it happening, they were convinced this was some sort of an apocalyptic sign. After all, what else could it be? Some did speculate it could be a weapon, directing its energy to the ground. But then again, who would do that? They say aliens, specifically a fleet preparing to invade. But the truth will only come if we wait it out. Trailing tentacles. In 2018, a new UFO video hit the internet and quickly went viral. For all the right reasons. Unlike the typical disc-shaped crafts, this one resembled a small circular object with strange hanging appendages, spotted flying at high speed over a US military base in Iraq. As people wondered about it, they didn't even realize they were in for a much bigger surprise, because the now named Jellyfish UFO wasn't just seen in Iraq. But a couple of years later, in 2021, it was seen floating around in Poland. This is big, because now the UFO wasn't just a myth. It was clearly an aircraft that was effortlessly exploring the world. But why? That's a question we haven't figured out yet. Interdimensional. Now and then, we look up at the sky and see something that we can chalk off as a coincidence or just a weird camera angle. But this is nothing short of a miracle. This angelic figure was spotted by eager citizens across Asia, proving this wasn't just happening in one place, but multiple people all over an entire continent could see this. People say the movement this figure is displaying isn't intentional. They theorize the angel was simply crossing ours and a different dimension at the same time, so it appears like it's changing shapes. Or who knows, it might even be preparing to show its real face. Solar visitor.
What is that?
as the whole world awaited the solar eclipse of the decade with their cameras panning to the sky. One of them caught a glimpse of something strange. It happened so quickly, it wouldn't have even been noticed if it weren't for hundreds already holding their cameras high. As the mystery object whizzed through, it went unnoticed until the cameraman reviewed the video and discovered it.
Bruh.
Look, there's something flying through the air.
There it was. And although it's quite challenging to identify, we're all smart enough to guess it's just a UFO. And look at the aliens trying to whiz past us when they know we aren't paying attention.
What's that?
What is that?
An extreme affair. There's a wild conspiracy theory that the Earth is actually just a simulation. That all that we experience, live, eat, and breathe is actually controlled by a race of aliens that hide themselves up in the skies. It sounds insane until you take a look at this. Not to sound cross, see what I did there? But this can't be good. What if the world really is a dome that's being controlled by creepy aliens? They might just be pulling the controls behind the sky, with this giant X as just a signal. Makes you rethink everything, doesn't it? Burning glory. The camera position toward the steamy Popocatépetl in Mexico captured quite the sight. It wasn't just the swirling movement above that tipped the researchers off, but how much more smokier it was than usual. After they repeatedly observed the same pattern over a couple of days, the researchers realized something truly extraordinary. This wasn't just a mountain, but one that was possibly playing as a secret portal. The smoke we see came from when an alien craft entered the portal, supposedly creating the billows in hopes of going undetected. Although it didn't really go to plan. Scarlet fever. You know things are off when the sky ditches its usual blue for a sinister shade of red. It happened in China, and the creepiest part is this wasn't even in the morning. Spotting something like this at night right after sunset is enough to throw anyone off. But the weirdest part? There wasn't any clear reason for it. No industrial accidents, no weird weather phenomena, nothing. And as if that wasn't eerie enough, this unsettling glow appeared in multiple cities at the same time. Whatever caused it, it's safe to say it left people scratching their heads and looking over their shoulders. Open discussion. Looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. An alien creature or a sentient entity taking over the skies. The way it's floating makes it seem eerily in control of its movements. But here's the twist. This footage comes from Faisalabad, Pakistan, a city famous for its textile factories. Turns out, one of those factories had a mishap, releasing miles of thread into the air. What you're seeing isn't an extraterrestrial invasion, just endless strands drifting, as if they had a mind of their own. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.